crunchy. I like them just by themselves.
Hey guys, I'm in LA, getting fucking drugged out.
Getting high as a motherfucker.
On steamed vegetables and potatoes and
they're eating they're eating.
That's why we haven't done a video in a while. We've been just messing.
We've been holed up in my room here.
They're eating raw carrots. Crunchy.
We won't eat carrots the whole video, but we should stop it. It's gross. They're really good.
I'm not trying to talk shit about Ted, Carr, or anyone else who...
We kind of just thought it would be a funny video, but there's also a point.
We did, but we also think it's very dangerous to give that type of advice in our...
Personal experience. It's personal experience.
It's not useful or helpful to anyone.
Not useful or helpful to anyone. I get messages daily, people thanking me for posting what I post, especially in videos like that. People telling me to post more videos like that because it's so helpful for them to see. It's so helpful for them because they can relate. And quickly before we go on, my dad drinks coffee every day. He's addicted to coffee. My aunt smokes cigarettes every day. She's addicted to cigarettes. I've smoked cigarettes before. I was only addicted for a very short period of time. I drank coffee before. I never really got addicted to it. So certain drugs people can get addicted to, certain drugs people don't get addicted to. Ecstasy, for example. I've done ecstasy many times. Didn't get addicted to it. I only did it like once a month maybe. But marijuana, for example, smoked marijuana every single day, like 3 times a day for like 4 or 5 years. And I was very addicted. Meanwhile, my friends smoked it with me. They didn't get addicted. So different drugs, people can get different levels of addiction too. So anyways, move on.
Yeah. If you want to be a strict fruitarian, that's fine.
Absolutely fine.
Yeah. And you don't want to take in any vegetables at all, any greens, that's your choice. But to say that they're poison or toxic...
Never said they're poison, never said they're toxic. But I understand why you would think that because I called them a drug. But I definitely don't think they're poisonous or toxic, for the most part. Some of them definitely are. Anyone would agree that stinging nettles, you wouldn't want to eat stinging nettles. Those are plants, but
or like drugs, or it's not appealing, because that's not true. It's some people don't love a certain fruit. Does that mean it's not good for you?
Not appealing to me. Not appealing to me.
Does that make sense? It just doesn't.
I personally love to eat plain vegetables. I like a lot of them. I love to eat romaine lettuce.
Celery.
Yeah, I just posted a video like yesterday saying it's not bad to eat romaine lettuce. It's not bad to eat vegetables. It's just for me personally, I don't want that in my system. For me personally. But go ahead and eat them. I don't see anything wrong with it. You can even eat green onion and basil if you want. Blend it up, eat it, whatever. I'm not against that stuff for other people's use. But for me, I don't want it.
I was talking to John Kohler, who's been a raw vegan for a very long time.
Cool guy, cool guy.
First fruit festival we went to here in Long Beach one time a few months ago. Fruit Luck. Yeah, Fruit Luck, sorry. And he had said that he only knows one long-term fruitarian, like on no vegetables. And he said the guy had been, what, maybe 30 years? And he had his own land, his own soil. The soil was amazing. He said the guy would throw away fruit that he would die for. Like, the quality of the fruit was so good. He says everyone else never lasts. And I know Ann Osborne is a fruitarian, and she's been a long time, but I believe she grows her own fruit too. And it has to be a full-time job. To recommend being a fruitarian to people that have a normal life, living day-to-day life with kids and stuff, I just think it's really irresponsible.
He said irresponsible, but it sounded like responsible. It's what I've been promoting now, like, for the past many years, and there's a reason people keep coming back. Few people keep coming back because a few people are the ones who want it, and for a few people it's really working for them. So I don't know how I'd be irresponsible. I don't tell people not to eat greens. I don't tell people not to eat vegetables. I just say fruit is optimal.
Personally, that's just my opinion.
No one's ever done it in the history of humans.
Yeah, it's not...
Nobody except Ann Osborne, except that other guy who's doing it for 30 years.
Why would it be the natural thing to do?
Yeah. Of course fruit fucking tastes great. It's awesome.
We love fruit, don't get us wrong. Fruit's our jam. We eat the fuck out of fruit.
And I know Ted used it as an example, but Ted hasn't been a full fruitarian for many years.
True.
He's been a raw vegan for many years, but he hasn't been just strict fruitarian for years and years and years. He eat greens. I've seen him eat greens up to a year ago.
True.
With his ex-girlfriend on videos, so...
I won't go into that. But she was never my girlfriend. We were just really good friends.
It's not like he's done this forever. You can eat McDonald's for 25 years and still survive. That doesn't mean shit, you know? We just feel like you're not going to get the minerals you need if you're trying to live off just fruit. And I'd go so far to say, if you want to be a raw vegan, I'm all for that. And I think if you do it correctly, you can succeed. And I know people that do. But
look at Tanny Raw. She's thriving totally. Yeah. She's been raw vegan forever.
What does she attribute a lot of that to?
Greens.
She
speaks of greens a lot.
Yeah, and chia seeds and stuff like that.
Yeah, chia seeds.
So I should just stop doing what I'm doing and eat some greens.
Healthy fats.
Exactly.
I eat lots of healthy fats. Tons of coconut meat, avocados on occasion, and lots of durian.
It's very hard to give up processed foods, meat, and dairy.
Yeah. It's hard. Yes, it's hard. Especially at the beginning, it's hard. And it's even harder to give up cooked food. Well, at least it was for me. It was a lot harder to give up cooked food for me. Meat, dairy, easy, get rid of it. But cooked food, oh, so hard, so hard.
Not in a world where that's easy. You know, you're around so many social situations. Just to even be a raw vegan, you know, is 99.9% of society, 9.9999% of society aren't going to do that. I don't do that. She doesn't do that. To try to tell them to not even eat vegetables, like that to me is really irresponsible.
My channel is about fruitarian lifestyle mastery. It's my niche, it's what I focus on, it's what I'm passionate about. The people who come and subscribe to my channel know full well what I promote. So if I'm promoting to them eating, you know, a fruit-based diet, I don't see how that's irresponsible. People come to me because they want to learn about fruitarianism. People come to me and they talk about how much better they feel once they get rid of vegetables and just go on some leafy greens and some fruit. And then they say, okay, I'm eventually transitioning off leafy greens, and they feel great. So I don't see how it's irresponsible, but I guess it makes for a good video. Like this.
Not recommend B12 for a lot.
I don't not recommend B12. Personally, I don't take it. I had a client yesterday tell me she got blood tested. She went back to cook food for like 6 months and her B12 dropped. So I told her, take some B12. Take it once in the morning, once in the evening. Take your B12. If you can get injectables, get injectables. But she didn't like needles, so I told her to take sublingual twice a day. So I suggest taking B12.
People, I think that's irresponsible.
Where's the science behind it? If you're
exactly.
gonna make dietary recommendations like that, like that's what I love about Jay, is that...
Here's the science quickly. You can go on Google, you can type in, you need to use Chronometer if you want. You can type in, you can fill in Chronometer, like 3,000 calories if you want, for just fruit for the day. You know, bananas, papayas, mangoes, whatever, all the fruit you want. And see all the nutrients you get. And then, take all of the fruit and just add vegetables. Just put in 3,000 calories of vegetables and see what you get. There's good science there, man. Fruit has everything you need. Fruit has everything you need. If it's in the soil, it's in the fruit. If it's in the soil, it's in the fruit.
He's never made a recommendation without being fully knowledgeable of like all the research on it. Just there's no science behind it. If you're sharing what it is that you're doing and it's working for you, that's wonderful. But to go and say that vegetables are...
Steamed broccoli is a drug.
In my personal experience, steamed broccoli was definitely a drug. definitely a drug. I ate myself into submission on cashews. I ate myself into submission on yams and sweet potatoes. I ate myself to the point of pain, nearly having to call the hospital, on boiled broccoli. I didn't even know how to steam. A boiled broccoli. You just add a little bit of salt to that boiled broccoli and it just takes it to a whole new level. It can't stop eating it. I couldn't stop eating it. I ate it to the point of pain. Literally almost called the hospital. I was just laying there in agony. Guess what I did when I got up? Went up to the stove and ate more of the broccoli. Drug, man. Drug, drug, drug. Just like ecstasy days. Get high on the ecstasy, come down. Where's the more ecstasy? Need more ecstasy. Get high again, need more ecstasy. Exact same mentality. Exact same mentality. For me personally, I know a lot of people can get by on broccoli, no problem. But for me, cooked food was so addicting. Broccoli was most definitely a drug. And I think it was the last cooked food I ever ate. After that, I was like, no, I'm done. I'm done.
That's not useful.
The science shows up.
Saying my personal experience is not useful. Saying what I'm saying, my personal experience should be totally invalidated. I don't know, I guess it just goes to show a lot about where some people are at.
Otherwise,
it shows otherwise.
Yeah,
this is based on what?
Yeah, and find me a long-term culture that was 100% raw vegan, let alone fruitarian, you know? And I think you can succeed on that, but...
We think raw vegan's great.
Yeah, but you don't see that in history. There's no documented history of fully raw societies. There isn't. So to say that...
Nobody's ever run a 4-minute mile. How can you possibly think you can do it? Nobody's ever run a 4-minute mile. How can you possibly think you've done it? When Roger Bannister was the first one to run a 4-minute mile, guess how many people ran it after him? Within a month, there was like 100 people. Before him, there was nobody. So I don't consider myself a pioneer in this movement. I consider people like Ann Osborne a pioneer in this movement. She's my biggest inspiration. Because she's doing it, I'm doing it. Now because I'm doing it, dozens of other people are at least attempting it. And a few of them are succeeding as well. But just because it hasn't been done before doesn't mean it can't be done. That is the most...
evolved to eat fully raw and just fruit if no one's ever done it.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
30,000 years we have documentation of people eating cooked potatoes, you know? Cooked vegetables.
Therefore I should eat cooked potatoes.
The 5 longest lived cultures in the world. The only consistent in all those cultures was beans. They all ate beans.
I should eat beans.
Just to eliminate all these foods from your diet, you know, we think it's irresponsible.
To feel like you should. To feel like you should. Tell people that they should. Want to see there's another side of that.
Yeah.
Okay, quick pause. My skin is clearer than ever. I sleep deeper than ever. I'm faster than ever before. I'm stronger than ever before. I'm happier than ever before. I was laying in bed last night just laughing and smiling just how amazing this life is. I'm showing every sign of sustainability. I'm showing every sign of sustainability. If I was moody, that'd be a red flag. If I got headaches, that would be a red flag. If I was getting weaker, that would be a red flag. If I was getting slower, that would be a red flag. If I was feeling stressed, that would be a red flag. If my food stopped tasting good, that would be a red flag. I have 0 red flags. I'm showing all the signs of sustainability.
And Ted living in Thailand right now, the quality of the fruit's probably through the roof. Yeah.
Did this in Canada for 5 years before, but yeah.
You know, you probably could do fine, but for the majority of people, you're not going to get the high quality fruit. And just to live off a few foods, you're going to develop deficiencies long term.
Okay.
And I think it's pretty dogmatic to not just promote a whole food plant-based diet. And if you want to eat raw, but to
if you want to eat just fruit,
Yeah.
but don't go telling other people that eating steamed broccoli is
drug,
bad.
you know?
Come on.
There are very young people, influential people.
Very young people in this community.
Yeah,
this is not cool.
Yeah,
Wow! It feels like, reminds me of like being in high school or something.
People promoting 100% fruitarianism, all of them are under 25 years old. Honestly, what life experience do you have
How old is Ann Osborne?
to make that statement to people? If you were 60 years old and you were doing this, fine, but it's very rare, it's very difficult, and I get if that's your gig and that's your jam, that's fine. But to say that cooked whole foods are poison or drugs or whatever you want to say, we think it's irresponsible.
I don't think they're poison. I honestly think you can live a long time on just cooked vegetables. They're not poisonous.
It's just our opinion, but I don't know. Find me some science that shows that these things are dangerous for you, or a drug.
There was no science before Roger Bannister could run a 4-minute mile. In fact, the scientists said they couldn't. The bone structure wasn't right, our cardiovascular system wasn't right. It just couldn't be done. You couldn't hold the focus long enough and hard enough to run a 4-minute mile. It just couldn't be done. There was no science before he could run it.
You know, I don't have steamed broccoli and crack out on it for 4 days. You know?
I did. It's my personal experience. I cracked out on it. I cracked out on it in the same way I cracked out on ecstasy and weed and cigarettes and everything. It was bad, man. Bad news.
You know, I personally...
It's crazy. Don't be afraid to eat a vegetable. I mean, that is just insane. I think most people...
Don't be afraid to eat a vegetable. Don't be afraid to eat a vegetable. Don't be afraid of anything, really, but just know that it is possible to get addicted to cooked food, especially when you add salt.
Are not afraid to eat vegetables.
And don't be afraid to eat beans if you like beans. The problem...
Or if you like gas. Don't be afraid to eat beans if you like to have gas.
People say they have issues, their stomach doesn't feel right, if they go back. Well, maybe you just haven't had it in a while. Like, the first time I had a 10-banana smoothie, my stomach felt like shit. Does that mean that it was the wrong food for me? No, you know? So, that's our take on it, guys. So, we don't want to keep this video too long. We wanted to keep it lighthearted, but it is a serious topic.
It is.
And we're really passionate about helping people get healthy, and we understand that the first step is to get rid of processed foods and animal products. Processed foods.
Get rid of processed foods. You don't want to process the food in any way possible.
That should be your only focus.
If you're on a whole foods plant-based diet, you're winning.
Yeah.
Don't feel like you need to continue to eliminate things from your diet.
The problem I see in this community or anything in life, you want perfection. Like, you always feel like you have to be perfect. Oh, I can't eat. Like you're gonna release some magical power. Like, it's just eat whole plant foods. That's it.
Relax,
all we're trying to do is, like McDougall has said, eliminate the poison, which is processed foods, meat, and dairy. Those things are known to damage your arteries and cause heart disease.
Legit, if you eat a whole food plant-based diet, you are gonna live a disease-free life. I 100% believe that. You could eat all the beans and yams and sweet potatoes and broccoli if you want. If you're eating a whole food plant-based diet, I don't believe you're ever gonna end up with disease. It's just, plants don't do that, unless you're eating stinging nettles.
Long term. That's a fact. So, that's our take on it, guys. Thanks for watching. We haven't done a video together in a while.
We'll be doing lots.
Most of them on our site, though. We don't want to cannibalize our own channels, but we will do videos from time to time with us. But if you want to see more of us,
so that's that. Thanks for watching. Yeah. So just to recap, I eat a fruit diet. I'm not against eating greens. I would eat greens if I wanted to eat greens. I'm not saying I'm never eating greens again. At this point in my life, and for the past 6 months, I haven't eaten any greens, and I don't want any greens. I just want sweet, juicy fruit. And I would encourage others to go by feel as well. And if anyone's ever experiencing any drug-like effects or food cravings like I experienced, then let me know, and let me know questions, comments, whatever. I'll make videos on them. Continue to make videos on them, and I'll get back to your private messages as well, help you out. So, peace, thanks for watching, and check out more of the Plant-Based Athlete. He's actually got some pretty good videos. He's not a bad channel. He's a great guy. Plant-Based Athlete right here on YouTube. So focus. There we go, right there. Cool guy. I don't know who she is, but I guess she's Banana Blondie. So there you go.